Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jaculator still in Lake Jackson, and this one's by request. Now, young lady was at the register. She was a cashier. She's scanning all this stuff, came across food, and immediately just asked me, hey, how do you cook this? And I get it. Nobody's born knowing everything. You got to learn somewhere. She said that she wasn't able to get it done. Her mother passed away when she was younger, didn't get to teach her the stuff. So I'm going to go through some very basic stuff on how to prepare this. So, or just how I do it, or how I did it back in the day. So, this is going to be fun. Before we do, be sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell, get the notifications. You know how this thing works. It's YouTube. And also, a heads up that we have merch down in the doobly-doo. We got aprons and fake hands and pot holders and spoons and spatulas and flippers. It's all done. I think it's got our stuff on it. And I mean by autograph and our, logo, not our stuff like food or grossness. Let's just get into it. Enough of me just blathering on. Yeah.
All right, so we're just working with your round steak here, right? It's really thin cut. Usually, you can get a kind of wider. When I was a kid, I get a big round one for like $4 and cut it up. But you get these, and I think I got 8 of these. They're really thin. They cook really fast. They're easy to marinate, but sometimes they can be a little tricky to cook if you're just trying to cook like a steak. Now, you're gonna need some butter or some olive oil, a tablespoon of each, and then I'm going to show you how to do some sautéed onions and garlic to go with it. You can use whatever you're going to use seasoning. Salt and pepper is very basic. Anything else? I'll show you how to use a marinade real quick. Basically just anything that says marinade, but I got a teriyaki one here that I'm going to use, that I use for the beef jerky stuff. And with that, you're going to need a Ziploc bag. So yeah, an onion and garlic if you want to do the sauteed stuff. Just to give you a little more oomph for under our budget. So first things first, if you're going to marinate these, which is usually pretty good because they can be tough, you put them in a plastic bag or a bowl or whatever you got. I just put them in a plastic bag just for ease of not having to do dishes. Now, get whatever you're going to use as marinade. Anything will work. The teriyaki stuff, if it actually says marinade on it, it usually has the salts that start breaking it down. A little bit of the acidic stuff in it starts breaking that down. So you go ahead and zip that up, clean it up, and just kind of mush it around a little bit. Keep it in your fridge. You can do it for a couple hours. Just every now and then flip it over, make sure it's getting coated. Overnight is better if you want to do it that way. It's not mandatory in any way, shape, or form. You can just take it, and some people just take it and they swear by just putting salt on it. But I like using actual marinades. Now, if you're going to use your sauteed onions and garlic, go ahead and cut the root end off and pull off all this little really dry skin on the outside. For years, I always forgot about that and always had just giant rings of really tough papery onion in my food, but now I've got it down. So pull that off as best you can. We're going to use about half to a third of this onion. Get you a decently sharp knife and cut it from the inside out. Now here's the trick. Like, you always want to grab it by the big part when you're cutting the rest of this, right? And that's the smartest thing to do. Like, I've seen people try to grab it by this little skinny end and try to do the cutting stuff there. It just makes it harder. Now, please, please, please be careful when you do this. Just do some, oops, see, right there, I could have slipped and cut off a finger, so be very careful. But just cut these across this way, and you'll leave you with just the regular, like the rings of the onion and stuff. You can break these apart, and they look really good when you're cooking them. So you can just pop them out, bloop. Onion ring stuff. Now, if you get too far at the far end where it's close to the root, they won't pop apart. You don't actually need that part, or you can just cook and just have a big chunk of onion. It's really up to you and your love of onion or not. Now, take this, just set it aside. Now, if you have regular garlic cloves, you're going to need to do the same thing, skin it and then chop it down, or you can just get this minced stuff, which I absolutely love. It is so much easier and it has a lot more of the oil in it, which is what I'm going to use here. So get you a decent size skillet, frying pan, whatever you want to call it. It's the best thing to do. Put it about medium, low. All right, so I think mine goes up to 8, and I put this at about 4.5. You want it to heat quickly, or not quickly, slowly, just the opposite of quickly. So it'll slow down. So you get 1 tablespoon. You look at the side of your paper, your butter, and it'll show you exactly how much that is. Cut that off and put it in there. Now, it cooks slow. It's really nice because it cooks too hot, it cups real hot. Like, it curls all the way up. So we're going to try to defeat that. Now, look at this. You see how it runs to one side? My oven, the stovetop, is not even. So it's definitely going to run. It's on my favorite burner. So just keep track of that. If you're trying to cook it, just don't move the meat out of your oils or butter, whatever you're going to use. Now it's nice and melted. You're good. Again, if it's melting too fast, go ahead and turn it down a little further. Now get you some salt. Salt one part of this. And then just put it face down with that salt part down right into your butter. Now you can put 2, 3, 4 of these depending on how thin sliced they are, how big your skillet is. But I usually do about two, to make sure that I'm doing it on camera really well. So you can fill these up if you can. Just keep an eye on them. Now, these are thin, so you're going to want to keep an eye on them. Don't put them in here and walk off like you can do with some other meats. All right, so it's going to cook. It's going to be, the whole house is going to smell good anyway. But go ahead, you can salt this side if you want. Most of the salt comes off the bottom side, so when you turn it later, it's fine. Your magic turning device is a fork. It's the best way to turn meats. Tongs work, but sometimes you can scratch stuff up. But now here's what I was talking about. So let's get this cupping. See this where it's kind of bubbling up? Now, if you don't like your skillets like me, you can just take a knife and cut it. You can use a pair of scissors as well. If you want to cheat, I always put it on the other pieces of meat and use that as a cutting board. Just put a small slice in it, and it'll help that cupping. But as soon as it starts cupping, go ahead and flip it over, and usually cooking the other side will help level that out a little bit. And it's okay if it cups a little bit. Doesn't always have to. When I was a kid, we always had these giant bowl-shaped steaks. It's because we cooked them on one side too much. So it takes about 2, almost 3 minutes to get these to where they're starting to get that gray color. What you want is like a little bit of brown. You can see it's kind of on the edges here where it's getting a little brown. But it depends on how well done your steak is. Like this is okay to eat for me. I usually like them exceptionally rare, but just a little bit of brown gives it that more thoroughly cooked thing for everybody that's there. So remember how I said everything's going to slide to one side? Be sure to just take it over here, put it in your butter, make sure it cooks. You can tilt your pan even more, get it all ran down, make sure it's all cooked. Now see how brown it is on this side? This is what I was talking about. This one's not going to be near as light because I flipped it later. Once you get that done, let it sit on the other side for a minute or so until it gets brown. And then when it's done, pull it off. You can put it on a piece of paper towel on a plate here. Ooh, that's your secret weapon. It's your paper towel on a plate, and do that. So that's all you need to do is cook them. That's very basic. Now I'm going to show you how to do the sautéed onions and stuff, how to put a little more seasoning in it while you're cooking. So again, you only want like 1 tablespoon of butter, which is going to be way more than we need like for the other two, but we're going to cook a little more here. Make sure it melts down. Put it on medium low. You don't want it too high. So this is where you have to get your ancestors to judge how much garlic you want, because I'm not going to measure that. That's something you just got to know in your soul. Just get a little bit, put it in there. I put a lot. That was almost a full forkful. My entire house would smell like garlic for 3 days, but as I'm me, I'm fine with that. That'll start cooking down. You hear it start sizzling a little bit when you're putting this stuff in. That's that good sound. This is what's going to make your house smell awesome. Go ahead and take your onions, put them right on top of there, pull them apart, make sure that all the rings where they're not stacked up and really hard. There's a lot of them here. I didn't realize how much onion I had actually cut off with that thing. But that's going to be good enough for every steak in there to have a pile of this stuff. So get you a spatula or a flipper and just kind of toss them around. You want to keep cooking those until they get nice and soft. Not like overly soggy to where they're all dark brown and gross. Now you can salt and pepper them, do all that kind of stuff, but you just want them to cook down. Well, so like you get them nice tossed in your butter or your olive oil that's in there. Give them a nice toss, get them curled around, and then move them to one side. You got to clear out, and this is where you're going to put your meat. So you cook these at the same time as meat, and you get that flavor really cooked into that meat. Because let's face it, the round stuff isn't the most flavorful meat that you can find. So, cooking with this stuff, it makes it taste good from one end to the other. Again, don't want to walk away from this one because you see how it's cupping or whatever. You want to go ahead and flip that over. And you want to keep the onions moving, and you don't want them sitting on the meat the entire time or they won't cook. So, give them a nice jostle around every 30, 40 seconds or so to where they're nice and cooked. And again, if it's popping and the oil's coming at you, that's too high, turn it down. So, it shouldn't take but 5-6 minutes to cook these as thin and as small as they are. But make sure your vegetables are cooked. If they cook slower than the meat, go ahead and pull the meat off. You got a lot of those in that pack. You can keep cooking the onions and stuff while they're in there. That way you get that flavor all the way over. Now, once you start getting that brown edge on them, not all the way through, just a little bit, you can go ahead and season these some more. Okay, see, starting to get that little brown edge to them. So you're doing good. So I use some Texas steak seasoning, works pretty good, and I like putting that stuff directly into my onions and garlic as well. It's great flavor. It's got a little salt to it, but it can be good. Sometimes I like to use a little dill. I'm always worried about dumping too much out of here, so I'll just reach in and pinch it out. Any kind of seasoning that you want to use on this would be perfect. Even just salt and pepper here. I'm just going to salt and pepper this one. You don't have to. Seasoning is not mandatory. Again, if you just want that steak flavor, that's what you're getting. But, you know, it always helps to have a little extra something in. Give it a minute or two on the other side to where you start getting that the brown stuff, and pull your onions and garlic aside and put them in a bowl by their own. Right? You don't want to just put them directly on the meat all the time. It gets soggy and the oil and grease will stay there and it's weird. So go ahead and pull these off, set them aside, and dress them how you want them. Use your steak sauce, do whatever. This is, you know, your steaks that are made for steak sauce. Now you can use any seasoning, whatever, dry, wet, whatever. But this is amazing. This is how you cook the round steak. This is how I learned how to do steaks and get into the higher end, the super expensive stuff. You have to practice with these little ones, okay? These are great for like meal prep. If you want to put them with like a little bit of whatever vegetables in the day of it, you can freeze them real easy. They microwave really well. You can pull these out. These are great. They're well under our budget because this whole thing of 8, if you're going to plan for 8 different days, this is $5. Right? That's not including, the third of an onion that's like 30 cents or whatever. Like, this is amazing. It's super simple. It's super easy. It's how to jump into and kind of learn how to do this stuff. All right, so give it a try.
And there you have it, folks. Super simple way to cook a simple cut of meat. It's easier to do, and if you're just starting and you want to try out something, it's the best way to learn how to cook steak because it's so thin, it's easy to cook, and it's easy to tell what's going on with it. If you do it differently, you want to see us do it differently, or something you'd like to see us show you how to do, let us know. Put it down in the comments, man. We'll come back to this. We will do this again. I'll show you how I put this stuff in, like my ramen and stuff. It'll be great. Other than that, you can also find us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. You can find us all those at Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. You can also find us on Instagram at Live Between. And shorten it down. You can also find me on all of those, as well as Twitter and TikTok under my name, Osway Nerdy. And I will see you guys next time. I'm going to go eat these steaks. Whole house smells awesome with the onions and garlic though. Woo, this is great. All right, y'all be safe.